Welcome to this very special episode of Against the Mountains of Madness. We thought we'd do a recap on the election, and we're just going to call this episode Trumpamania. So, in news that will probably surprise no one, John and I are pretty happy that the election has gone well. Cackles has been sent running for the hills, and Trump and JD Vance are the president-elect and vice president-elect of the United States. That he's won the popular vote and the electoral college, and down ballot has gone gangbusters. Hopefully, hopefully it's the dawning of something new and special. I guess we'll see what happens. Sorry we've been away so long, and the regular show will resume soon. As someone said, well, we've both been uh, busier than the shredders at the Justice Department. So, John,
Yes,
you voted in the election. I just watched it from afar.
I
What are your
voted.
thoughts?
Everyone in my family voted. I voted. Everyone in my family voted, including one child who did not want to vote, but she eventually changed her mind. My wife worked at a polling station.
Oh,
Okay, so she was there to make sure the vote this time would be fair and correct. And my state of Virginia takes very special care to make sure the votes are counted correctly. Now, the Democrats pulled a lot of shenanigans this time, but unlike in 2020, the Republicans knew what to look for,
hmm.
and there were private individuals, including the comedian Louder with Crowder, who was keeping an eye on them, and including uh, Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, who was looking after rumors of shenanigans. And the shenanigans suddenly stopped at about midnight of election night,
I think
as if someone had given them an order to stand down. Okay.
I'd
There's
say
still
yeah.
some, at the time of this recording, we'll know the result, but there's still, at the time of this recording, there's still some shenanigans going on for down ballot votes, senators and local votes. But by and large, the vote was kept honest this time, and the true spirit of America, which I thought might be dead rather than asleep, woke up and at the 11th hour rose up, swept the Trump back into office, swept the Senate into a GOP senatorial majority, and looks at the time of this recording, looks like they're going to sweep the House into GOP hands as well. And there's a whole new spirit at large in America. There's the good spirit of the jubilant, joy-filled conservatives, Republicans, and libertarians, because we're all, at this point, everyone who is against the communist takeover of the country is in one camp. There's a guy named Scott Presler, who is a long haired, somewhat effete gentleman who moved to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and became the Johnny Appleseed of signing up for voting. And he signed up everyone for voting, including our Amish community. I don't know if you know who those are, but those are
I
people
Yep.
who live in the 1850s level of technology because they are a highly devout, God fearing people. They were raided by the FBI because they sold raw milk, and this cheesed them off royalty.
Fair enough.
And you should not disturb the people of God, okay? So they came out in their horse carts to vote, and some 80,000 of them voted in the election.
Nice.
Okay?
That's wonderful.
Pennsylvania went to the GOP for the first time in decades, and so did many other states. And the if you break it down county by county, the map is almost entirely Republican.
It always is.
But in one of the news shows, they said Jake Tapper was talking to his co-puppet about where has Kamala Harris overperformed? Where did she perform better than Joe Biden? And they
Nowhere.
showed a map a map of the United States that was
Totally
entirely
blank.
blank,
That was
and they moved the
perfect.
map. They moved the menu aside so they could see it, and he just went, "Wow." Because
I
I'm
remember
sorry,
that. That was
Joe Biden
funny.
did not want even Joe Biden did not want Kamala Harris to be president.
Nobody
No
wanted
one voted for
cackles.
her.
Nobody wanted cackles.
Nobody voted for her. She should go into the crystals. I'm sorry.
I would have.
So
What is that a reference to? I've seen a few jokes to
that's
that
a
effect.
reference to a comedian put up a brief cartoon called Freedom Tunes. You should look
Oh,
it
I
up.
know. No, I saw him
Freedom
put him
Tunes
in
had
the
a
crystals,
Freedom
but I
Tunes
didn't
had a
understand
brief.
the reference to the crystals.
it's a reference from a video game where it's where you send evil spirits that
Ah, is
that
that
you
what it
have to
is?
imprison in the underworld. You
Right.
see, and
Yep.
in the cartoon, President Trump has psychic powers, and not only does he save the squirrel Peanut from the FBI raiders, he also sends Cackles Harris into the crystals, and the it scrolls up with the happy ending of World War III avoided and America plus 50%, and so on and so forth. Universe saved.
That's
So that's a short video called "The Good Ending."
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, uh, there are a lot of leftist women screeching that like, oh, it's doom in America. They are obsessed with killing babies. I mean,
It's the only right they have left. The only right that the left wants us to have is a right to invade the rights of the unborn.
but somebody said yes. It's surprising. Many women in America buy groceries more often than they get abortions, and they voted accordingly. Um,
Most women don't want to kill their own babies. It's bizarrely unnatural. It's bizarrely
it
unnatural,
is their it
and
is
the
their
whole
unholy
the whole
sacrament.